Hey everyone, today we play the worst Mario Kart game. In case you don't know, this series is about playing the worst game of a series, taking a look at why it's not as well received as other games, but then finding some good things about it as well. The definition of worst for this video is the lowest Metacritic or Game Rankings score. I tried looking at different forums to see what people's opinions are, but people just get into angry discussions about their preferences instead of being regular human beings. I had a quick look at each game in the series, and to my surprise, Mario Kart Wii was ranked the lowest at 82, both on Metacritic and Game Rankings. I guess that's fitting since the Game Rankings website looks like it's from 1982. Wow, that was mean, sorry. Anyways, 82 is a pretty good score still, so obviously it wasn't a badly received game overall. So what we're going to do is play the game, look at some of the negatives to see what made people prefer other Mario Kart games, but we'll also take a look at the positives at the end. Mario Kart Wii came out in 2008, so about a decade ago, and you can guess what console it's for. Here's a hint, you can play it on a Wii U if you want. Since its release, Mario Kart Wii actually ended up becoming the best-selling game of the franchise, selling over 10 million more than the second best-selling game, Mario Kart DS. So when people think of Mario Kart, it's usually this game. The game actually looks quite similar to its predecessor Double Dash for the GameCube. Characters aren't teamed up this time, so it's one person per kart. Or bike, actually. Yes, Mario Kart Wii introduces bikes, which I think is a big deal. Handling on those are different, which is a nice bit of extra variety added to the game, but more on that later. There's a bunch of different game modes. In Grand Prix mode, there are 4 different cups with 4 races each, as well as 4 more cups to unlock as you play. 50cc is karts only, 100cc is bikes only, and 150cc is both. Can we have a 660cc class with just K cars? You can unlock bikes for 50cc and karts for 100cc, by the way, as well. You can also select auto drifting, but you don't get any mini boost thingies, so best not to get used to that. Just go with manual. As usual, we'll go through the negatives first and then end things on a high note when we talk about the positives. The first thing I noticed straight away was that Mario Kart Wii just doesn't feel as fast-paced as Double Dash, and I'm sure this is quite a letdown for some people. Even when racing the 150cc class, things have a bit of a leisurely feel. 50 and 100cc just feel slow overall. I think I would vastly prefer if 50cc was about as fast as 100cc is. 100cc should be like 150, and 150 should be even faster than that. This way, the 2 lower classes wouldn't be as boring. I literally never play those with how they are right now. Another thing people have expressed concerns with is the lack of strategy when it comes to characters compared to Double Dash. Double Dash had character-exclusive power-ups, whereas Mario Kart Wii doesn't, making character choice not as critical now, though the whole light, medium, and heavyweight thing is still a thing. Something else people complain about is that it's no longer possible to snake drift. Personally, I think this is a good change overall, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I understand why it upset a few people. It's an interesting technique, and just knowing how to do it won't mean that you'll be super fast, especially going up against somebody else. The point is to drift while keeping as straight of a line as possible, because not doing so wastes valuable time, which is critical when racing against other people who know this technique. The graphics are pretty decent, but I think they're a bit of a sidestep compared to Double Dash. Remember how so many games of this era were brown for some reason and had this bloom effect? Mario Kart certainly wasn't immune to this, so you can see that brown and orange bloom effect going on here too. I kinda get why they did it. It was a good way to hide some of the graphical imperfections, but the bloom effect also makes the image blurry in that regard. Not really a big deal, but something worth mentioning, I think. And probably the most frustrating thing is the fact that a lot of times the races are just a lottery. Last lap hijinks are always going to be a thing in Mario Kart, but the absolute chaos that happens in this game can be a bit ridiculous. I can't count how many times I was hit by 4 or 5 items in a row on the last lap while leading, which almost instantly knocked me down to almost last place, basically. Another thing that happened a few times, and hopefully I got some footage of that happening, is me being far behind, getting the bullet bill item, and then catapulting myself into first place with it, and then winning the race. I don't think that's particularly fair. In newer games like Mario Kart 8, you can tell how much more balanced the items are. Obviously, Nintendo learned from what happened in the past and applied that to their newest games quite well, I think. Anyway, let's talk about some of the positives now. This is the first Mario Kart game on a console, as in like a home console, where you could play online. Now the servers are shut down, but when they weren't, This was a big deal. In fact, many people won't play this game now that online services are discontinued. It is possible to play online with a modded Wii, and there's even a ton of extra tracks with it, but obviously most people will just play a new Mario Kart game instead. I had a lot of fun playing it online, and it was in fact my favorite game mode to play. I think another positive about Mario Kart Wii is that this game isn't as frustrating to play for newcomers for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, one character per kart is much simpler to understand, and you don't have to worry about stuff like character-specific items. Plus, you also have a bunch of different controller options. Despite what people say about motion controls, there are people who prefer it, so that's good for them, and if you don't, then well, just don't play with motion controls. It's as simple as that. I think it's kind of funny when people cite motion controls as a negative for this game, when it's something completely optional. There's just a lot of choice, and the nice thing is you don't have to worry too much about making the wrong choices. Just pick whatever character you want, then choose a kart or bike to alter the attributes to your preferences, or race with your Mii. Lots of choices for fun, and you don't really get punished too much for selecting the wrong character/kart combination. The introduction of bikes helps with that as well. They feel different and therefore help people who might not be as competitive with the kart. I actually prefer bikes as well for the most part. And for the last point, I think overall the removal of snake drifting is a good thing. This makes it much easier getting started playing online or just against other people in general without getting discouraged. And if you're a good driver, then you can find other means of being fast and winning races. Besides, it would be a bit ridiculous to have people manjiing like it's the straight on Higashi course at Ebisu, and then somehow being faster because of it. This might be an arcade racing game, but that's where I draw the line. It's already enough that drifting somehow gives you a boost. We don't need to go off the deep end here. And that's Mario Kart Wii for the Wii, obviously. I've played most of the Mario Kart games over the years, and Mario Kart Wii personally ranks near the top for me despite being ranked the lowest on Metacritic and Game Rankings. In the end, it doesn't matter if it does or not, the main thing is whether you enjoy it. I certainly did, and it was fun to play this game at length again for the first time since online services shut down a few years ago. Let me know in the comments what you like or dislike about this game, especially compared to other Mario Kart games. I always think that's an interesting topic. I might talk about some other Mario Kart games as well. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe. If there are other games you'd like to see in the series, let me know in the comments. Also check out the Patreon page if you want to help out the channel. With your help, I'll be able to make more videos like this and maybe get some games and systems I currently don't have. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next video.